Who's now?
The IXs get right.
IXs get right of reply. Wow. Have you got the slides or anything? No, this is voice. Right.
Hello, my name is Gavin Tweedy. I know a reasonable number of you, but not as many as I know from the Australian community. I was going to do some slides, but when I found out I was following Tim, I thought the last thing I want to do is put up slides that say his slides were wrong. So my role at Megaport is Interconnection Director. I look after all of Asia Pac, that includes Auckland. So I'm the guy you can speak to about your peering stuff. My background's technical. And so I can help you come up with a solution, whether it's peering here, peering Sydney, or you want stuff in the US or elsewhere. So I broadly agree with most of what Tim presented. I think it's a pretty fair view from a high level of the state of peering here in New Zealand, from what I see. And yeah, if you're not already on our exchange, come have a chat to me and let's talk about whether it makes sense for you to be on our exchange. Cheers.
All right, so I'm Chris. I'm from Lightwire. I'm one of the members on Auckland IX or New Zealand IX. So New Zealand IX is carrier neutral and we're also a not-for-profit. We're run by a committee, and the committee is made up by members, people who buy services on the port. I'm one of them. We were initially, Auckland IX was initially completely funded and completely built by the Internet Association of Australia, which was at the time known as Western Internet something, WAIA. They decided to rename themselves to confuse people. But they completely funded it, they completely built it. And then basically, NZIX was formed by members to make it a legal entity so we could bill you people and get funds coming in so we could carry on building it. We currently have 60 unique pairs, although only 40 of them appear to be in PeeringDB. Locations are 220 Queen, Merrill Drive, and Vocus Data Centre, Albany. But I guess the main point for the New Zealand Internet Exchange Incorporated is we're really here to serve our members. We're not for profit, so there's no alternative modus, and we have a constitution that says we're trying to improve the internet for New Zealand, and running an exchange is obviously a main point of what we're trying to do to achieve that. But having said that, we're established now. We've been taking people's money for about 6 months. We've obviously got a bit of debt to pay back to Australia, but we're starting to get money coming in, and we're able to start thinking about what we're doing next, which is why you would have seen me post to the mailing list this morning a survey. So I really encourage you guys to fill that out and have your say. And that'll help steer the committee to what we should do, whether that be more points in Auckland, or thinking about another city, or maybe even distributed exchanges. Our committee is made up by both content providers and ISPs currently, so there's quite a bit of diverse opinion in there. So feedback from you guys, I think, is very important to steering us in what we should be doing. But otherwise, yep, you've seen a few graphs. Doing about 15 gig, and there's quite a few of you on there. So yeah, do the survey and look at the website if you're not paired. If you're not paired, why not? Come have a chat to us. That's all I really want to say. Does anyone have any questions about NZIX or Auckland IX? No? Cool. CityLink.
Cheers. My name's Pete Tabin. I'm from CityLink, or the Team Talk group, and sounds like I'm here for a bit of a beating. A couple of things and observations from my perspective, and just to give you guys an idea. I am an engineer, but I'm not an expert. I'm passionate about peering. It is something that I believe is really important to New Zealand, and would like to point out, in fact, that Vodafone do peer, they just don't peer fully. So they are a massive peer in New Zealand. It's just last conversation I had with them, they were particularly interested in peering for their home users and not for their businesses. So that seemed to be the approach that was being taken there. In terms of the last year, what we've really seen is the growth of 10G, and in the last year it's the first time that we've had customers with congestion issues on 10G links, and not just content providers. So that's been solved in a number of ways. And off the top of my head, I would also say that our three biggest peers are neither at, in terms of volume of traffic, aren't at 220 Queen or at Merrill Drive. They're in other locations. What else? In terms of our customer base, we've seen some attrition. We've certainly seen some of that. We've seen a bunch of consolidation as people have been bought and amalgamated and sorting their lives out. And we've seen some new peers. So overall, the volumes haven't necessarily changed, but the players involved have for us a little bit. We do believe that if exchanges are critical infrastructure, peering with more than one IX is sensible. If it's really important to you, do it. It's a good thing to do. You buy diverse networks, peer diversely. That's a good thing. If you want the overhead of doing bilats, do bilats. That's, again, a good thing. It's a way of maintaining control for yourselves. Couple of other things would be, WIX is about generally on an average day a quarter of the traffic of APE. I have a couple of apologies to make as well. One has been we internally have taken a lot longer to respond to the AS path issue than we wanted to technically. We have a proposed way forward which I have had a commitment from the business that we will be sending a letter to our customers as to the way forward. We have a method of being able to remove the AS path. We don't plan a flag day at this point in time because like some people that like to have lots of TCP sessions to get the best experience for their customers, we don't want to go and break our customers. So it's really important to us that our decision making, you guys can influence it, you guys can drive some stuff, but we will be driven by our customers. That's a truism. If you haven't received, if you guys are customers and you haven't received any information from CityLink or the Team Talk group about our way forward by the end of February, please send mail to peering@citylink.co.nz because it means that we aren't engaging with the right people, and it's up to you guys to tell us that if we've missed you or the wrong people in the organisation have got that information, please let us know. And I agree with Tim, it would be ideal if we don't have a mixed mode of whether or not we're inserting our AS path, and that's going to be driven by our customers. And you guys can influence our customers by talking to your customers as well about whether or not having the AS path is a good thing and getting consistency is a good thing. I would absolutely agree with that, and you guys can absolutely influence that outcome. In terms of some of the other things that have been started, CityLink did spend what I would consider quite a reasonable amount of money on SDN stuff. As I understand it, we've stopped working on that at this point in time because we decided it wasn't a good thing to install that in a production environment and with what we were looking at to something that's critical to New Zealand. We don't think that's such a marvellous idea. That's probably most of the stuff that I have. I also don't set policy. I'm an influencer of it inside CityLink, but I am not the person that says this is how it'll happen. We have a bunch of people involved in a TDA group that work through that and talk to management about our recommendations. The other thing is if you're not a peer, certainly get, or if you are and you're interested in 10G, for example, Tim quoted some pricing, which, to be perfectly honest, I don't know if that's accurate. That's sales. We have some salespeople here, so if you want to talk to them, you can certainly do so. Any questions?
Why don't you post your update on the blog post instead of just to your customers?
Because our customers are who we're going to communicate with first. So that may well come as part of it. The key thing is that we have to start engaging with our customers better sooner. This community is important. Our customers at the end of the day pay the bill. You know, they effectively employ us, and even any organisation, there is cross-subsidy of that stuff. If you're collecting money from people, then they are a customer. Anything else? Cool. John.
Look, I'll just say something nice. Without CityLink, we would not be here. We would not have the UFB infrastructure that we have today. New Zealand has UFB today because of what CityLink did 20-some years ago. And our community exists because of APE and WIX. So we really owe them a lot. And I'm glad to see that they're doing something good. So it's not all frowns everywhere, even though I really don't like the organization.
John's also an ex-member of the wider Team Talk family.
Yes.
And contributed a lot. Timmy.
Let's do another one.
Yeah, Tim.
Oh, that's all right.
You good?
Sweet. This could kill it if we want.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Just a quick survey question. Can everyone in the room who runs a network that does peer in New Zealand raise their hand? Now leave your hand up if you peer at 2 exchanges. And what about 3? Cool. It's interesting. Thanks.